Well, good morning and welcome back to the Tennessee Valley this morning on this Thursday edition. It's 6:44 and 51 degrees on this kind of rainy Thursday morning. But it's going to be okay. It's going to hit 70 today, and so we're excited about that.
Yes, we are.
We are excited. We have a very special VIP in the studio with us today, and we're so thrilled to have Chrissy Martin here. Chrissy is a grade school teacher.
I am.
First grade, is that right?
First
Did I get that all right?
Yes, first
and,
grade.
Okay, tell us about yourself and where you teach.
Well, I teach at Arnold Elementary, and I've been at Arnold for 7 years now. Fifth year in my classroom experience. My first year was with an internship.
Oh, yeah.
At Arnold, and then went right into being a reading interventionist the next year, and then got my own classroom my third year. So,
fantastic!
yeah.
How many students are in your class?
I have 21 this year.
That's not too big.
It's not, no. The largest I've had is 27, or 26, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, but we average around 23, I would say, usually, but 21 this year.
Well, Chrissy has been given quite an honor, and she is the Teacher of the Year. Tell us about that, how it came about, and what it means to you, Chrissy.
A lot of hard work, a lot of really hard work. But actually, no, teaching and I think education in general is not really a job where you get instant recognition. We're in the business of making students shine.
Yeah,
So
right.
we kind of, take the background typically. But you have to be in your 5th year of teaching.
Okay.
And so it was my first year for eligibility. And you have to also be a certified teacher, K through 12.
Which you are.
And yes, I am. And then your colleagues nominate you and vote for you.
Oh, so it's you're nominated by your peers.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that is an honor.
That is.
It
now,
is.
roughly how many teachers are there at Arnold Elementary?
20, maybe 21.
There you
I need
go.
to
Yeah.
nail down that number, but it is around 20. We have 3 first grade teachers. So I have a wonderful team behind me.
Oh, that's great. Well, when you're nominated by your peers, there's no better recognition than that.
I know,
To
it's a
that
wonderful
your
feeling.
colleagues recognize the job that you're doing. That's fantastic. Arnold is a special school to this community anyway. Of course, there's a lot of history there. And it is in partnership, I understand, with Lee University. Talk
It
about
is.
that.
Well, we are best partners with Lee University, which is very near and dear to my heart. I'm a Lee grad. I got my Bachelor's of Arts in English there, and also went back and got my graduate degree
good.
with a Master's of Arts in Teaching. So yes, we partnership with Lee. We have a lot of Lee service hours are done through Arnold. We have activities that take place at Lee University, so it's just a wonderful partnership.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I had a chance to meet Mrs. Swartzel. She's the one I was trying to think of.
We love Miss Swartz.
Yeah, she's wonderful. I went there to visit one of her classes, and so I was able to pay a visit to Arnold Elementary. It was a special little place. My goodness, are those kids so cute?
Oh, they are.
I just
They are
love
cute.
them. Now, I'm sure you have some fun experiences working with the little tykes over there. So what are some of your favorite memories since you've been teaching?
There are so many, actually. But one particular, we were teaching addition. In my classroom, I was teaching addition, and we were talking about, using your fingers and counting up. And so a little girl said, well, what if I get past 10? And what do I do? And I said, well, we have other strategies for that. And she said, can I just use my toes? So that one's always stuck with me as being a cute one.
Pretty cute.
She was a problem solver, wasn't she?
She was a problem solver. I love that. So, but Arnold, you had the opportunity to visit Arnold, and Arnold is so wonderful. We like to think of ourselves as the best little secret in Cleveland because we are small enough where we have a great community involvement. We have a great culture inside the classroom, culture inside the school. Ms. Bender's done a great job of making sure that everyone feels important, all of the students. So it's very rich in history, rich in culture.
Is that your principal?
Kelly Bender, yes, is our principal.
Oh, yeah, yeah, she does an excellent job. And of course, Arnold, historic school, but it's sitting right in the middle of the historic district in
It
Cleveland.
is. It's right there in the historic district.
Yeah, so it really fits well there. What are some of the greatest challenges that you face as a first grade teacher, Chrissy?
Probably, it's a light bulb year. Being a first grader is a light bulb year, and what I mean is It's the year that sometimes it just comes on with reading. Reading is what we really push. We're a heavy reading school. We used to be a reading first school. So that probably one of the challenges, though, is realizing that you may not be the teacher to reach that child right then. And that's probably one of the most difficult realizations that I've come to, because I work so hard to try to make sure I get to every child. But the reality is you may not be the one to actually turn it on for them. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges.
Really?
Being able to contend with that when you are so passionate about what you do.
Yeah. When you want to reach them and help them understand, and it's just not there yet.
Right. Well, and the way we approach it, or the way I think about it in my own philosophy, is that it's kind of a three-pronged approach. I feel that every child can learn, but they have to be willing to. And so when you think about it in that three-part dynamic, you know, you've got the teacher, you have the child's willingness, and then also the parental or home support. And if you plug all three of those in, then ta-da, you have a learner, a life learner.
Do you find that the students do much better when the parents are plugged in and supporting the student, making sure they get their homework done, taking an interest in what they're trying to learn? How much does that enhance the learning experience for the child?
It makes all the difference.
Does it?
It makes all the difference. Yes, it does. And being involved in the classroom, trying to come in and see the teacher, talk to the teacher, become her or his or her. We have male teachers, 2 male teachers at Arnold, and they're wonderful. But becoming their friend and realizing that you're all on the same team.
Yeah.
And you're looking out for the best of this child and wanting to, you know, especially in first grade, in the primary grades, you're laying the foundation. And so we want those children to love school. You know, they may not learn all of the facts that they need to, but we want them to love learning so that later on, you know, they'll be able to cultivate that.
Yes,
Well, back to the award that you received. What does this mean to you personally to say, oh, wow, I'm the teacher of the year at Arnold Elementary?
Well, I thought I might get a better parking spot, but that didn't really happen.
No reserve
but that's
parking.
okay. Actually, I live within walking distance, so my
Okay.
son and I walk to school, but on the nice days. But it's very validating. It's affirming. I was actually nominated with my mentor teacher, and my mentor teacher is Miss Karen Lowe, and I love her, and she has, you know, she's a very selfless teacher, and so it was kind of come full circle for us to be nominated together. So it's a wonderful feeling.
That's
it's a blessing.
I'm sure, yes. Well, it definitely is an honor.
Thank you.
And I'm sure once your students have heard about it, do your students know?
Oh yeah.
That they're like, oh, I have the teacher of the year. I'm sure they're super excited.
That's a nice feeling. One of my co-teachers, Miss Smith, she had gotten Teacher of the Year in her 5th year of teaching, and you know, I was like, oh, maybe one day when I'm in my 5th year, I'll be able to have that same honor, and I'm so glad. So
Sometimes
very
these things go on to the district and to the regional and state level. Does that put you in running for one of the broader districts?
Well, yes, you are eligible for that once it happens, but our Cleveland City's system Teacher of the Year for kindergarten through 4th grade is Rebecca Lay.
Okay.
So, and she's over at Yates Primary.
Okay.
And
Good
so,
school, too.
Yeah, it is a wonderful school.
My
also.
grandkids went there.
Okay, yeah, so you're partial to that school. Well, Cleveland City, to make that plug, we're very,
Very good.
very good. Yeah. So I'm very lucky
And
to
we
be a
hate
part
to
of it.
see Dr. Rick Denning retire, but you know, we all do from time to time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the school board will pick a worthy successor to Dr. Denning. I think he's done an outstanding job personally. That's my personal opinion.
Well, he's all I've known
Yeah,
since being
He
involved
certainly
with
cares
Cleveland
about
City.
the students, and I think he cares about the teachers as well. We've got just a couple of minutes left, but talk about the need for volunteers in your school. Do you encourage parents to come and help you volunteer and do things in the class, work with the kids?
I do, yes. Like we were saying earlier, having the parent support and being a part of and seeing what we're doing, it gets them more educated or educationally minded, because sometimes, especially when you look at a report card, we're a standards-based school, so all of our standards are listed out, and it gets a little confusing. But when the volunteers come in, especially the family or parents, they can start learning that educational lingo that we throw around, and also realize it's not a very scary thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm actually more comfortable in a classroom of children than adults. And I want the volunteers and the parents to feel the same way.
Sure.
Get your hands in it. You know.
And there are any number of things, I suppose, that the parents could do to volunteer, help in the classroom, trips, field trips, chaperone, any number of things they
Oh
could do.
yes, and we do. We get that. We have volunteers that come on certain days, and you know that's an understood that we have work ready for them to help us out.
Excuse me, I have the allergy problem again, still with me today.
Now, how can Lee students volunteer? I understand that we are able to get service hours over there, but what particular projects come up for Lee students?
Well, just recently, this past weekend, we had the Lee students come over and they helped actually clean our entire building.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that was
That's
very
great.
nice. Very wonderful way to spend their Saturday, I'm sure.
Yes.
But no, there are other ways. I've had students, of course I've had student teachers. That's a totally different thing, but they can come in and actually help tutor the students. I've had a few students from Lee come over and we'll take out a couple of students that may be struggling in certain areas and they will help tutor them. And they're so loving and caring, the Lee students are, and I think that we understand that being Lee students ourselves.
That's part of the character of Lee
It
University.
is part of the character of Lee.
And of course, every student over there, I think, is a volunteer at some point in their life as a student over there. This has been so exciting, and I want to congratulate you,
Thank
Yes.
you.
Chrissy,
Thank you
Very
very
much so.
much.
for receiving this honor, and especially since it came from your peers. That's quite an honor to receive that. And we just appreciate you and Braden getting up early, coming in. And sorry we didn't get Braden on camera. but
Oh, that's-
he is a handsome young man sitting
Thank
over there.
you.
He's smiling. He's proud of his mama, I can tell you that. And we're glad that you came in today. Chrissy Martin is the Teacher of the Year, first grade Arnold Elementary in the Cleveland City School System. So glad to see you today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a
Oh, no
lot.
problem.
6:56 and 51 degrees. Back in a moment with some headline news.